Well, these guys sure are special.
The vast majority of the mentally retarded are intelligent enough that they can be taught a great many things. However, there's a wide range of ability even among those considered educable.
Hey, who did that? That's, of course, there's so many major headline news stories happening right now that it will make your head spin just trying to stay on top of it all. And that's what I'm dealing with right now. And that's why in this particular video, I wanted to go over all the breaking news happening right now because there's so many different stories to talk about of significance of late that it's very hard to package each video because I would literally be working here nonstop, which I already am. But the developments are important. And if you like these types of videos, let me know. Like it and share it. And if these types of over kind of encompassing videos that talk about all of the things that happen in one particular time frame works for you, let me know. Because if these videos do well, I will continue to do them for you. Because there's, again, a lot to get into. Let's just get right into it. As today, Donald Trump just signed the pardon for Devin Archer. If you don't know who Devin Archer is, he was a once good friend of the Biden family, as Alex Jones called them, the Biden criminal family, as he was the whistleblower that came forward and then was, according to a lot of legal experts, wrongfully imprisoned for his crimes that he specifically exposed. As this move by Donald Trump right now signals how there could be some unraveling of pardons laid out by Joe Biden for his son that might become tested in the courts soon, as this is some big news here and signals that Donald Trump is taking the gloves off, as he also got rid of a lot of Secret Service protections for a lot of top Democrats and a lot of corrupted government officials that previously beforehand were bending the rule of law in order to try to attack Donald Trump as some kind of, quote, Russian agent. In other news, another executive order that Donald Trump just signed a couple moments ago is one that is going to be overhauling U.S. elections and requiring proof of U.S. citizenship. Yes, as the AP writes, President Donald Trump on Tuesday signed a sweeping executive action to overhaul elections in the United States, including requiring documentary proof of citizenship to register to vote in federal elections and demanding that all ballots be received by Election Day. A major move that will piss off a lot of very democratic liberal cities, sanctuary cities, places where in some instances illegals could even vote in local elections. Now, this absolutely, I think, is the right move, as people always have an issue during elections. But it depends on who wins and if they have those issues, depending on the political party that they are aligned with. But ever since 2016, there was a lot of Democrats pissed off at the election. 2020, the Republicans were pissed off. 2024, you still have some Democrats pissed off, as individuals like Rosie O'Donnell are literally in Ireland questioning how Donald Trump was able to have such a big successful victory, as she thinks Elon Musk somehow rigged the internet. The whole internet, not just part of it, all of it. Now, Trump's foreign policy also is very different. It's something that we haven't ever seen before. It's definitely head scratching sometimes, as J.D. Vance, the Vice President of the United States, now will be sent to Greenland. Maybe this is punishment for him disagreeing with Donald Trump on those Yemen strikes. But J.D. Vance announced on social media that he is going to be visiting Greenland, a place that has been threatened by foreign adversaries, and he wants to go there to ascertain and understand what's really going on there. As a lot of people have posted videos saying, yep, the United States is trying to get closer and closer towards annexing and taking Greenland for ourselves, as Greenland government officials expressed fury over Trump's plan to send a delegation. This is not the first time Donald Trump sent a delegation over to, of course, Greenland, as his son and Charlie Kirk made a visit and did a little town hall inside of Greenland, trying to, of course, ascertain the political situation there. That the corporate media is reporting overwhelmingly that the people of Greenland are not happy about potentially being annexed towards the United States. Even though Donald Trump is talking about payment, he's talking about protection. J.D. Vance was talking about the importance of protecting this significant territory. And that's why, according to a lot of kind of geopolitical foreign policy experts, Donald Trump is trying to secure important territory that is filled not only with abundant natural resources, but also key territory that is very important to trade routes. If you look at the wars that have been fought throughout recorded human history, majority of them are fought along or because of trade and trade routes. As Donald Trump also declared that the United States is subsidizing its 51st state, Canada, as Canada soon will also have elections for its future prime minister, as both candidates on the left and right are talking about how they do not want to join the United States. But anything goes in Trump's world, as we're living under a totally different dichotomy. And I think the possibility of Greenland being American territory is far more likely, but Canada also is another territory that Donald Trump has his eyes on and is already calling their prime minister the governor. Now, more important news coming from Europe. Before getting into that, let me tell you about LukeUnfiltered.com. If you haven't signed up yet, what are you waiting for? It's quick, it's easy, it's simple, and it supports this independent media broadcast to be able to be here for you. I have a lot of big plans. I want to go out there, get on the ground, report for you. I want to do stuff that I've did during the beginning of my career, and I need your help and I need your support. To do that, the easiest way is to just sign up to LukeUnfiltered.com, 20 cents a day, and at the same time, you get 13 plus years of videos centered around helping you become the best, strongest, most amazing version of yourself. So if you haven't taken full advantage of all the videos we have on there, what are you waiting for? We also have master classes that will teach you how to be a journalist, how to be a YouTuber, how to travel, how to save money, how to expat, how to do the apocalypse survival training in case all hell breaks loose. How do you survive in the wild? Well, we got you covered. We have a lot of great things, including members-only shirts, seed oil cards, and crap list of items at the supermarket that you should be avoiding, as well as free tickets, contests, giveaways, meetups, nature hikes, and range days, self-defense classes that we just took here in South Florida. The video of that is the latest video for members of LukeUnfiltered.com, one of the many things that you facilitate all through your memberships. Now, I think one of the biggest deals that I didn't get to really talk about, I talked about a lot. I released a bunch of videos today, but I really wanted to talk about this, and I never got the chance to. But Russia and Ukraine in Saudi Arabia have just agreed that they will stop fighting in the Black Sea. This is according to White House government officials that are a part of these very high-stakes negotiations that are happening right now, that is trying to make sure that Ukraine and Russia have a deal to implement a ceasefire that will slowly roll into the end of the fighting, an end of the war. All of this as the Russians are also demanding that Western sanctions be lifted against them in order to allow economic prosperity for all countries involved here, as the White House announced here that outcome of the United States and Ukraine expert groups on the Black Sea have already been meeting, have already been talking, as the Wall Street Journal today is reporting that the United States has agreed to help Russia boost exports in these Ukrainian talks, as the economy making money sounds a little bit more reasonable than, blowing each other up to smithereens, as we have seen the Orsinik missile system implemented by the Russians here. The Europeans have set up and used some long-range advanced missile tech against Russia. there have been deliberate attacks against Russian and Ukrainian energy infrastructure. The Ukrainians are blaming the Russians for bombing, allegedly, one of their hospitals. Who do you believe throughout all of this? Well, there's a fog of war. The first war is the information war, and there's a big information war being waged right now. It is pretty severe. Hopefully, these negotiations continue. Hopefully, more economic deals are met and made here, and the conflict, by God, ends and stops and finally reaches a point where we do not continue this lunacy and insanity that has been continued for far too long. In other foreign policy news, Donald Trump also announced that he's going to be putting a 25% tariff on countries that buy Venezuelan oil, even though the United States has been buying Venezuelan oil. As it looks like Donald Trump is making some very aggressive moves against Venezuela, a country that is ideologically opposed against the United States. All of this is happening as, of course, it's not just Venezuela, but also Iran that Donald Trump is talking very tough on, as Donald Trump just sent a letter to the Iranian supreme leader, giving him a 2-month deadline to reach a new nuclear deal. This is according to Axios, as it looks like there will be a kind of re-engagement. It looks like there could be potentially sanctions being lifted off of Iran again, meaning that there could be more energy resources released on the world stage in exchange for the Iranians promising not to develop advanced military tech inside of their country. Now, the scenario that could work out here that would be pretty incredible, because Iran produces a bunch of energy. Russia produces a bunch of energy. Donald Trump says, guys, we're going to work things out with our national security, with our allies. We're going to make sure that they're all happy here. We're going to stop the fighting. We're going to make sure that peace is ushered into the Middle East, into Europe, and you guys release all the energy on the world so we can make consumer goods cheap, so we can make travel, transportation, trade cheap. The price of energy going down means the price of everything else going down as well. This is the Federal Reserve, by the way, is moving against Donald Trump today significantly as well, creating more inflationary pressures in the economy. That, of course, will have a compounding effect, as clearly the stock market is doing good. But crypto, doing good. Bitcoin, doing good. But we all know that little dirty secret that no one likes to talk about, that it's a Ponzi scheme. And the Federal Reserve is not a friend of you or the middle class or the poor people in this country, while, of course, acting as an adversary now to Donald Trump, as there's a bunting of the heads between these two major powerhouses. Donald Trump also, within the last few days, just fired, quote, nearly the entire civil rights branch of the Department of Homeland Security. Those individuals that were, quote, personally providing oversight of his deportation, and now they're all gone, with many people responding with these types of memes here. Significantly saying, I don't care. I'll just get rid of those guys, as Donald Trump has been cutting a lot of government waste, a lot of government fraud, a lot of government corruption. And even though it's not perfect, even though I question some of his moves and don't agree with some of his political assertions, I do have to say that the vast majority of Americans are seeing a lot of these cuts, a lot of these firings, as overall a great thing. And I would agree with them. Now, there are also other questions about innocent people being caught up in the fray, being deported, being sent to El Salvador when they weren't gang members. I hope those questions get answered. I hope there's further investigations to make sure no innocent person was sent to jail. I know there's also talk and scuttlebutt from a lot of MAGA people saying, and Donald Trump himself, who announced previously beforehand, if you're a domestic terrorist and you attack a Tesla dealership or Teslas and you firebomb them, or you physically destroy them, that you should be sent to El Salvador. I disagree with that. I don't think American citizens should be sent off to foreign lands and foreign territories. Now, criminal cartels and gangs, all these top big gangsters that are not even American citizens. There's a case for that, as a judge ruled against it, and Donald Trump sent the detainees there anyway, and El Salvador saw this as a major victory for themselves. Now, sending American citizens there, I just disagree with that personally, and I think we do have to have a little bit more oversight here personally to make sure that innocent people and American citizens do not get caught up in this fray. Now, I understand the chilling effect. I understand the importance of making sure that the people who entered here illegally, the people who were coaxed by the Biden administration to come on in to change the face of this country, need to be dealt with, because they're not only changing the face of this nation, they're also changing congressional representation. They're also changing the political landscape of this country. And overwhelmingly, this is why the Democrats really loved the situation. They knew that they would vote for Democrats. That situation needs to change, unless, of course, we want Democrats to be in power potentially forever. All of this, as, again, the corporate media cannot stop talking about this leak that happened when we had a journalist that was entered into a private chat room on Signal about their plans for Yemen. Government official plans that were discussed on Signal, where today we are finding out that National Security Advisor Mike Waltz was the one who is taking now full responsibility for including a journalist in that group chat that was discussing the United States war with Yemen. As now we are finding out that we are hearing from this government that, no, this wasn't a war plan. The journalist in question, that has some very interesting ties to intel agencies, according to Alex Jones, says, no, they were war plans. And now we have a back and forth. Who are we going to be believing here? As the Atlantic editor, who is connected to some of the biggest fake news stories out there, is now claiming that he could potentially release more screenshots of documents out there to the general public as Signalgate continues. And it definitely is something that the media loves talking about, as a lot of Democrats, including Hillary Clinton, really, the lady that the lady that sent classified information over her email, the lady that used her personal email, the lady that got her emails leaked, the lady that also deleted a whole bunch of her emails of ever being held accountable. Yeah, that lady, she shouldn't be lecturing us about national security and protecting us. Now, it looks like this story will continue to be a little bit of a controversy for this week. How will it develop? What else are we going to be finding out here? Well, stay tuned for more. We're going to be releasing about 4 more videos later on today on all the breaking news unfolding here in this studio that is financed through your support on LukeUnfiltered.com. Again, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys signing up. Click the link. Make sure to check your spam to make sure that you're getting that email. And I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on YouTube.com/WeAreChange.